Hey everyone, welcome to a deep dive designed for anyone who's ever thought, I wonder if I could make some money from my crafting. Maybe you're looking for a fun side hustle, or maybe you're dreaming of ditching the day job and going full-time creative.
It's a great time to be a crafty entrepreneur.
Absolutely. We're going to explore a bunch of DIY project ideas that are perfect for beginners, even if you've never touched a glue gun before. And then we'll get inspired by the story of a guy who took his passion for ugly Christmas sweaters. Yes, you heard that right, and turned it into a multi-million-dollar family business.
There are so many people out there who've done just that, turning their love for crafting into a real income stream.
Okay, so first up, we've got two awesome sources that are packed with fun, easy-to-make craft projects.
And these are perfect for anyone who's just starting out.
Like, seriously, there's something for everyone. We're talking everything from traditional Christmas sweaters to trendy keychains, earrings, even cupcake toppers.
And don't feel intimidated if you don't have a ton of fancy equipment.
Right. But I have to say, one thing that really caught my eye was how these sources talked about using digital tools like Cricut machines and laser cutters to really step up your game.
Oh yeah, those can be game changers. A Cricut machine is basically a digital cutting tool that lets you create all sorts of intricate designs. Think custom vinyl lettering, unique shapes for decorations. You can even cut fabric with it.
Right. Like imagine making personalized t-shirts or totes. You could even design your own stencils.
Exactly. It's all about adding those special touches that make your craft stand out. And these sources actually walk you through how to use these machines step by step. So even if you're a total tech newbie, no problem.
I was surprised by how approachable it all seemed.
Me too. And they also talk about laser cutters, which can make incredibly precise cuts in all sorts of materials: wood, acrylic, leather, even paper.
Oh yeah, those are awesome for making delicate ornaments or even custom jewelry pieces.
Right. Talk about taking your crafting to the next level.
Okay, but let's get to the actual project ideas. One that really stood out to me was the tree skirt poncho.
Okay, tell me more. I love upcycling.
It's literally about taking an old tree skirt and transforming it into a super stylish poncho.
Yeah.
They show you how to add pockets, embellishments, all that good stuff.
See, that's what I love about crafting, finding creative ways to give old things a new life. And people love that unique handmade vibe.
For sure. And it's so on trend right now. Another idea that caught my eye was the leg lamp skirt, inspired by that iconic leg lamp from A Christmas Story.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I can totally picture it.
Right. Talk about a conversation starter. And it just shows you how you can take a pop culture reference and turn it into something totally wearable and fun.
Totally. It's about thinking outside the box and tapping into those trends. Speaking of which, remember how one of our sources suggested turning simple crafts into ornaments or party favors?
Yes. Like, let's say you're amazing at making little crocheted animals. You could easily turn those into adorable Christmas tree ornaments, or even cute cupcake toppers for themed parties.
Absolutely. And they had this clever tip about crafting for those ugly Christmas sweater parties, invitations shaped like sweaters, little reindeer cupcake toppers, even matching masks.
Okay, that's genius.
Yeah.
Speaking of ugly sweaters, we have to talk about the guy who built an empire out of them. This story is seriously inspiring.
Lead the way. Let's hear it.
So, picture this guy starts selling wacky Christmas sweaters online just from his basement.
You're kidding.
Nope, totally true. And he ends up building a multi-million-dollar family business.
What? Okay, but how did that even happen?
It all started when he noticed people were paying insane prices for these old vintage Christmas sweaters on eBay. And you thought, hey, I could make those.
Wow, so he was really paying attention to what people were already interested in.
Exactly. He saw a need, a trend, and he jumped on it.
I mean, gotta give him credit for that. Ugly Christmas sweaters really have become a cultural phenomenon, haven't they? From themed parties to celebrities rocking them.
Yeah, it's become this whole thing. But this guy, he didn't just stick with those classic grandma's old sweater designs. He kept innovating, coming up with new, even more outrageous designs every year.
So he understood that to really be successful, you have to keep things fresh, keep people surprised.
Exactly. Like one year, he tapped into that whole elf yourself trend, where you could put your face or even your pet's face on an elf body.
Oh yeah, those were everywhere.
I made sweaters like that. It was brilliant. And then when the pandemic hit and everyone was wearing masks, guess what he did?
Oh no, don't tell me matching ugly sweater masks.
Yep. He found a way to adapt, stay relevant, and keep his employees working. It's like no matter what obstacles came his way, he found a way to turn them into opportunities.
That's so important, that adaptability. Okay, so we've got tools, project ideas, and an awesome success story, but let's bring it back to you, the listener, for a sec. Think about the crafts you love to make. What are you naturally drawn to?
That's the perfect starting point, right?
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot, something you enjoy making that other people will love too.
So true. And there are tons of resources out there to help you figure out the rest. But before we get into all that, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more crafting inspiration and tips on how to turn your hobby into a profitable side hustle.
Because, not every craft is going to appeal to every person. It's like you wouldn't try to sell, I don't know, Gothic skull earrings at a baby shower.
Yeah, probably not the best target audience.
Yeah.
You make a good point, though. Our sources really emphasize that you need to think about who you're creating for.
Exactly. It's all about figuring out, okay, are you going for holiday shoppers, people looking for unique gifts, or maybe you're targeting a niche market, like people who love, I don't know, miniature dollhouse furniture.
I've seen that on Etsy.
Oh.
People go crazy for that stuff. Okay, so let's say you've got your target audience in mind. What's next?
Well, our sources stress the importance of staying on top of trends. Remember how that ugly Christmas sweater guy was always coming up with those new, wild designs?
Yeah, he was all about keeping things fresh and exciting. Like, he knew that to stay ahead of the game, he had to constantly innovate.
Exactly. And it's the same for any kind of crafting business. You have to pay attention to what's popular, what people are talking about, even what's happening in the world around you.
It's like you could be inspired by a new movie, a popular meme, or even just a color scheme that's trending that season.
Right. And don't be afraid to, put your own spin on those trends. Sometimes the most unexpected combinations can lead to the most successful products.
It's true. Like, remember those elf sweaters? Who would have thought putting your face on an elf body would be such a hit?
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But it worked. So think outside the box, try new things, and don't be afraid to experiment.
Great advice. Okay, so we've talked about choosing a target audience, staying on top of trends. What other tips did our sources have for aspiring crafting entrepreneurs?
Well, they were really big on using high-quality materials. Like, people are more likely to buy crafts that look well-made and have a professional finish.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the materials either. It's about paying attention to detail.
Absolutely. You want your crafts to stand out because they're beautiful and well-crafted, not because they look sloppy or unfinished.
So true. And another thing they mentioned was good photography. Especially if you're selling online, your photos need to be top-notch.
Oh, 100%. Think of your photos as your online storefront. They need to grab people's attention and make them want to learn more about your products.
It's all about showcasing your work in the best possible light.
Yeah. Just like we were talking about with the Elf Yourself sweaters, those designs were so eye-catching. It's the same with photos. They have to draw people in.
Okay, so good materials, attention to detail, great photos. What else?
This might seem obvious, but they also stressed good customer service.
Yeah, that's huge, especially if you're running an online business.
Absolutely. You want to build trust with your customers, respond to their inquiries quickly, be helpful and friendly.
Right. Happy customers are more likely to come back for more, leave good reviews, and recommend you to their friends.
It's all about building relationships and creating a community around your brand. Okay, so remember how we were talking about the ugly Christmas sweater guy?
Oh yeah, the entrepreneur extraordinaire.
Well, remember how he adapted his business when the pandemic hit? Instead of throwing in the towel, he started making those matching face masks.
Yeah, it was such a smart move.
Right. He saw a need in the market and found a way to pivot his business to meet that need. It's a great lesson in resilience.
Totally. It's a reminder that even when things get tough, there are always opportunities for innovation.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe those masks even ended up becoming a whole new product line for him. It just shows you sometimes you have to roll with the punches and find creative solutions.
Okay, so I know we've covered a lot, but I want to remind everyone that starting a crafting business doesn't have to be this big, overwhelming thing.
Yeah, start small, test the waters, see what works for you.
You can literally start creating and selling right from your kitchen table.
And with platforms like Etsy and social media, it's easier than ever to reach a global audience.
So, to all of you out there who are feeling inspired to start your own crafting business, remember, take it one step at a time, try new things, and most importantly, have fun.
So true. And hey, you never know, maybe one day we'll be featuring your success story right here on The Deep Dive. But before we wrap things up completely, let's close with a little thought experiment. Imagine you're launching your crafting business tomorrow.
What would be that one-of-a-kind creation, that signature piece that has people saying, I gotta have that?
Ooh, I love this question. It's all about finding your own unique voice in the crafting world.
Right. Like, what makes your crafts special? What are you passionate about?
Maybe it's a completely new invention, something no one's ever seen before.
Or maybe it's a fresh spin on a classic, like a traditional craft with a modern twist.
Exactly. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect right out of the gate. Think about that ugly Christmas sweater guy.
Yeah. He started simple and just kept refining his designs over time. He wasn't afraid to, like, experiment and try new things.
Yeah, and that's so important. Don't be afraid to let your creativity run wild. Explore those off-the-wall ideas. Sometimes those are the ones that really take off.
It's true. And it's not just about the product itself. It's about the story you tell with your crafts. Like, what emotions are you trying to evoke? How are you connecting with your audience on a deeper level?
Absolutely. When you can tap into that emotional connection, you create something truly special. It's like you're inviting people into your world, sharing your passion, building a community.
So as you embark on this crafting journey, remember to have fun, embrace your creativity, and let your personality shine through. You never know, maybe one day we'll be featuring your crafting success story right here on The Deep Dive.
Until then, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and keep crafting your own path to success. And remember, we're always here cheering you on.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That wraps up our deep dive into the world of crafting for cash.
Thanks for joining us.
And happy crafting, everyone.